My topic today is titled, But We Are Better Than Many. And if you can understand it in that light, though there may be things you think you lack or you lost, the summary of my message today is that you are actually better than many. Many who took and had advantages of the things you don't have access to. People who have access to pleasures, have access to education, have access to wealth, have access to good and beautiful and conducive family. Several of them that have access to business opportunities, have access to traveling abroad and coming in, have access to wealthy parents, wealthy mother, wealthy father. Some have advantage of coming from a background of a family that is very wealthy and educated. Several of you do not have access to some of these things or many of them, but I've come to realize that you are actually better than many. Hallelujah. Now, the Bible you read is said that the mixed multitude, when you hear the word mixed multitude, and in everywhere there is a multitude, there is a mix. Okay? Mixed multitude simply means when Moses displayed the power in Egypt, it became obvious to the Egyptians that the God of this man is mightier than the God of our land. It became very clear to the Egyptian people that even the elders went to Pharaoh and said, let these people go. This thing that is happening is nothing but what? The finger of God. They recognize and acknowledge the mightiness of the God of Moses. So at that, certain citizens of Egyptians who were not Israelites, when the Israelites were asked to move and go, out of fear and out of love for their God, as Israelites were moving out, those of them followed them out of Egypt. When they saw the Red Sea opened, and then Israel passed through the dry land, and when the Egyptians came after them, they witnessed Moses lift up the rod, and the water buried the whole army of Egypt in the Red Sea. It dawned on them that the God of these people is indeed mighty and powerful. So we now have mixed multitude of the believers of God and unbelievers from Egypt. All of them we are traveling together. Now there is always a risk to this situation when there are mixed multitude in the church. People that are not believers, when you are trying to raise plans and options that will build the congregation to a holy standard, to a life of righteousness, to a life of prayer, the life of godliness, the mixed multitude will always bring opinion that will counter that. I need you to know this in your life, that even in your department, as youth, as women, as a choir, as men, anytime you discover that certain of you are trying to project the spirituality, project the godliness, and there are certain people that are recommending and introducing things that are completely out of the jurisdiction of the scripture. Just to see them silently as the mixed multitude. They need to be converted yet, even though they are in the body of Christ. Hallelujah. So this mixed multitude began to trigger and stir up the rest of the Hebrews, telling them that, look, do you remember that when we were in Egypt, we eat garlics free of charge. We eat leeks free of charge. We eat cucumber all the time without buying them, without paying for it. We eat onions and so many things without paying. But now, since we have been following this man Moses, all we have been seeing coming down from heaven is only manna. Manna. Is that only what God can produce? So God doesn't believe in giving his people varieties of meals. We don't eat diet. We are not enjoying. Our life is dried up. Can you imagine us? We are not eating flesh. Now I would like to draw your attention to the word flesh. The word flesh in the scriptures and in the study of godliness represent carnality. People that live in sin, people that are not spiritually minded. When you talk about flesh, we are talking about the agent of iniquity. We are talking about the engine that produces sin in our lives. So the Paul will write and said, do not to dwell in the flesh. Do not live in the flesh, so that you will not fulfill the lust thereof. And if anyone live in the flesh, he will not please God and will not fulfill the will of God. And we will subdue the flesh under our feet, that it doesn't have control over us. So these people said, give us flesh. And when they steered the Hebrew, the Israelite, they all went to Moses and complained. Some of them hung in their curtains, in their tent, and began to cry. We don't have flesh. We need the flesh. We need the flesh. Food, varieties of them. Now, who brought about this flesh? The mixed multitude. To me, what is the flesh? Some of you don't have access to varieties of meals in your house. You don't eat what certain girls and boys eat on daily basis. At times you see many ladies who are taken from one Mr. Biggs to another Mr. Biggs. Boyfriend, they carry them to hotels and expose them into so many salad, so many food, so many dainties. And they are eating every day. Some girls, because of those food, will decide in their life to follow men all their life. Just to be eating. Free food. Ask them to cook one, they will not cook. They have eaten food at the Oriental Hotel. They have eaten food at the Golden Tulip. They have eaten food at the ShopRite. They have eaten everywhere. They will tell you the taste of all the food in Lagos State. They will tell you the names of all restaurants, the best one. They will tell you the name of fisherman soup and, different names of soup they have eaten. And many times you look at the lady, look at the man who have eaten all of this. You can't see the beauty. You can't see the glory. And whenever you begin to hear them, some of them will tell you, Oluchi, you mean you have not eaten fisherman soup before? You say, you don't know anything. During my birthday, my boyfriend took me to Lekki and we ate it. And then when you hear my boyfriend took me, you now ask yourself, I don't even have any boyfriend. Who will take me there? My father no send you. Mama no get 1 naira. My elder brother, useless man, every time I say the quarry. Who will take me to Lekki? You now begin to desire a boyfriend. Do you know what you are asking for now? Flesh. You are just looking for flesh. But you didn't look very well to ask yourself, after you have finished eating it, what did it contribute? What great impact did it make in their lives? I would like to show you one more scripture. Genesis. Can you follow me to Genesis? Genesis chapter 21. We are reading verse 8 only. Genesis 21 verse 8. Can somebody stand up and read it? Genesis chapter 21 verse 8. And the child grew and was weaned, and Abraham made a great feast the same day that Isaac was weaned. What is the meaning of this word, weaned? What does it mean to be weaned? That is, Yes. Stop the baby from what? From breastfeeding. From the body of the mother. So that the baby can now begin to do what? To eat normal food. So when they said weaned a child from breastfeeding, so that the child will begin to eat other food, that exercise does not go down well with any baby. Anytime a child is stopped from breastfeeding from the mother's body, and you are planning to start giving the child pap, custard, golden morn, other food, that period you stop that, you will hear heavy cry. The child groans. The child cries. The child shouts. Why? You have taken away what he cherishes most. But he is not aware that what you are bringing into his life now is going to be far more better than what he's taken before. He will not understand that what we are bringing now is going to make your bones stronger. It's going to make your flesh stronger. It's going to make your brain stronger. It's going to make you grow faster. It will separate you from being a child into becoming an adult. What brings about winning? It is the growth of the child. When the child grew, anybody that you see still drinking milk, still sucking breast, the truth is that that child has not yet grown. Apostle Paul was writing to his people. He said, even up till now, I can't give you bones, I can't give you flesh. You are still drinking milk because you have not grown. Because anyone that is taking milk cannot be allowed to be exposed to the knowledge of the things of God. They are being unveiled to men with wisdom and understanding. Until you grow from drinking milk, then we can introduce the next level of your meal. And the child was weaned. Many a times when God wants to take a man to a high level of encounter with him, he will wean them from their breast. Wean them out from that life of pleasure and enjoyment. He will separate them from their comfort zone in order to teach them strength, capacity, and then he will introduce them to a new level of pleasure. Winning you from the breast, it doesn't mean he wants to expose you to hunger and to struggle. Never. You will encounter an experience in life and you will be lifted up to settle and be established to a new level of pleasure. I want to guide you this day. Don't be jealous of anyone that you see that is still drinking the milk. Be contented, be comfortable with what God has given to you. Now, look at Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 28, verse 9. Everybody get to Isaiah 28, verse 9. And if you are there, please read it for us again. Whom shall he teach knowledge? And whom shall he make to understand doctrine? They are the people that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. Whom shall he teach knowledge? Onye ka Jehovah ga-akụziri ihe dị omimi? Onye ka Chineke ga-egosi amamihe n'ụwa? Whom will God raise to a level of maturity and wisdom? It is only the people that are weaned from the milk. Only the people that are drawn out, pull them out from the breast. Who will he teach knowledge? Who will he teach understanding? Until you learn to deny your mouth everything that the mouth loves to eat. Until you learn to starve the flesh, so many things that are made it comfortable in life, you will not come to the place of knowledge, maturity, and understanding. Hunger has a way of exposing you to maturity and thinking. Lack of many things teaches you wisdom. That you don't have too much pleasure for too many years. You are withdrawn from it. I am talking about you have tested it and they came and removed you from it. It's a great encounter. It is different that you have never tested it. Are you hearing me? It is easier to ignore America and London, in as much as your leg have not been there. You have not known the beauty of the environment. You don't know the beauty of the place. You have not enjoyed the atmosphere. So even if they say you will not go to America, you don't have problem. But if someone that has been in America for several years, Canada for several years, and he visits in Nigeria for burial or for whatever, and as he's planning to go back again, you not told him that you can never be in Canada. Are you following me here? He will hang himself. If you join him, maybe he carry you, say, look, I want you to go and see America or Dubai. And he carry, say, let's go. That's where I'm living. And you get to the airport and the people say, two of you can never be in Dubai in your life. That man may hang. You will come back home laughing. And they're asking you, why are you not crying like he's crying? He says, because he is withdrawn. But to me, I never test that. So the language withdrawn means this is someone that have been in the beauty experience, in the pleasure experience, and heaven come and say, I want to remove you out of it, not forever, but to teach you knowledge and teach you wisdom. I said it here, I'm repeating it. That is such an encounter exposes you to knowledge and wisdom. Check everyone that live in pleasure. They are foolish. There is nothing in their head. When they talk, you will know them. Who shall he teach knowledge? Who shall he teach wisdom? Only the man that is weaned from the milk. And the one that is drawn. Did you see the capacity of removal? Can you imagine you wanting to bring a child out from the breast while he's sucking? Have you tried that before? Not as he's carrying a child. Mama is carrying a child. He don't suck finish. Belly don't full. You want carry. I mean, go open hand and follow you. But to go and carry that child while the breast is in his mouth is eating. You want to try. You will hear what you never bargain for. He said those that are drawn, not those that has finished and they are saying, you know, you remove me from breast. Take them out while they are enjoying it. That is divine method in teaching you wisdom and knowledge. Trying to let you know this is not your life. Without this, you can actually survive. Without this, you can actually make it. No matter what you think you lost, it's not to the end of your life. You will still survive and get to your destiny. So no matter what perished, no matter what is taken away, no matter what is removed, don't die. We have alternatives, several alternatives to make life succeed through you. God has several ways of helping you. And that is why you must never be a slave to anyone whom you feel like you are my helper, you are my only hope, my only. Anytime I hear people say that you are my only hope, it hurts me more than even hurt God. Before you meet this your only hope, who was your hope? Before you meet this fellow that is your only hope, who was your hope? How were you surviving? Hello, baby. Baby, honey, I'm trying to tell you, if you leave me, I will die. You are very stupid. You should have died before now. You should have died before now. Because he wasn't holding you before. For you to not believe, if that boy leaves, your own is finished, is an act of foolishness, ignorance, and childishness. Never you believe that your life is attached I overheard a man, a woman sent me a voice note. The husband threatening her, you are going to lose your marriage. And when you lose your marriage, your own is finished. I said, I want to see that man and slap him. And the man who is a talking doesn't provide 1 cup of gari from year to year. Now the woman they provide. Can you imagine? Who will actually suffer? No, tell me, who will actually suffer in that marriage? Is he not your Okokopioko that calls himself a husband? Threatening a young lady. You will soon lose your marriage. And when you lose it, you will suffer. Suffer in the place where you don't bring 1 cup for food here. You don't know how the children are taken care of. No, don't let any man become your source of livelihood and your source of future, your source of happiness. When you attach your whole life of happiness on a human being, if anything go wrong, you will live a life of misery. Be free to be drawn from any breast. And anytime you notice that something that you value so much had been pulled out from you, don't die yet. Just calm down, sit and think. You will hear the Lord showing you manna. And when you look at manna, it looks pearl. When you look at manna, it doesn't look tasty like the other one. When you look at manna, it appears not beautiful. But can I tell you something truth? Every ingredient the rest of the meal has, manna carry times 10. You know, you don't know that. I want you to know this day, no matter what you lose, there is a manna. And it's always coming from heaven. And Jesus said, that which come from above, he that cometh from above, and everything that cometh from above is above all. Allow God to remain your only source of happiness and joy, because he's endless and inexhaustible. He cannot fail, he cannot disappoint, he can't end. Don't let it be a man. If you say, look, this business has been paying my rent, has been taking care of our family, yes, I appreciate God for that. But don't build your eternity on that business. Anything can come on that business. Am I not the one that raised a shop in Lagos Island? Only for me to wake up one day, one Monday morning, to hear people telling me it's on fire. Everything there, debt, loan, collected from people, we are inside that shop. And nobody was allowed to go in because of the kind of thing that happened in December last year. The people ran to go and secure and rescue their goods. What happened to them? They were trapped inside, all died there. And up to now, so we are talking, dead bodies are still in the mobiles, unrecovered. And I said to my wife, who was dressing up, putting on clothes, I said, you are not moving out of the house. Stay here. Let the fire be burning. If he enter our shop, fine. If he doesn't enter our shop, it's okay. What of all the debt we are owing? The loan we collected, 1 million plus or 2 million plus, I can't remember. What of all the goods, the catching car? I say, allow them. Before we know it, they say it has entered our flat and everything is burnt to ashes. When the young boys returned, including Pastor K, they came and met me in Bafeki, preaching and shouting, singing and praising God. And somebody said, is he aware that his shop is burning? I was aware. But I have mastered the situation whereby when you draw me out of the press, I have chosen not to cry, but to rejoice in him. Do you know why? I have been surviving before breast. Hey, baby! When you were inside the womb, very hot, you were not sucking breast. The God who made you he had many ways of sustaining your life. I want you to know this today. Never you die because something has closed. Even if your marriage breaks, don't break. Even if your marriage is scattered, I am not supporting that it will scatter or break that. But if anything happens and you lost it, I need you to know before marriage came, your life was making progress going forward. Let the end of marriage never end the plan of God over your life. Find another route. Continue this journey. For he that created you has a manner. And when Brother Candy came to the church, I finished preaching and praying for people at Buffet. And I walked in and I saw the young boys frowning their face. I called somebody and said, Roch, and buy me shortbread. They brought the shortbread. I called Brother Okay. Any day I meet him, ask him. He comes here on Thursday. Tell him, what did I give him that day they returned from Lagos Island? He will tell you shortbread and Coke. I gave him shortbread. I said, eat it and drink mineral. He said, now everything is burnt. Not everything is burnt. Goose we are burnt, but I wasn't consumed. I am the maker of money. I will make another. Are you hearing me? After that, I opened the several shops. After that, I have opened the several shops. And after today, I can open several shops. Did you see why you should master this life? That no matter what is taken away, I will move on with my life. At the end of the day, we shall still be better than many. I can never be the worst human being on earth. If I am not the best, I assure you, I shall be better than many. Did you hear my word? This is the little counsel I give to you today. No matter the milk taken, no matter the breast you are withdrawn from, I usually hear most people cry, but I guide you today, don't cry. They sack you from a job that was giving you so much. Can you imagine you earning 700,000, 500,000, 800,000 per month? And all of a sudden they say, we don't need this your job again. Do you know your heart will hit boom? Because you have already drawn plans. What you will be achieving in 2 months, in 1 year, in 6 months. And it's just shattered. You will feel like to give up and die. Don't die. It was only drawn from the breast. There is a manna. And it falls from heaven. Go on with manna. Keep eating. Today, Israelites are not eating manna. Even if it's not sweet and pleasant, he will teach you knowledge from it. He will teach you wisdom from it. Allow him feed you with manna. Days are coming when there will be no more manna falling down from heaven. You will discover you are producing what you eat in diversions. May God guide you this wisdom. Several people have done several businesses that fell, but at a point, one stood and made them multi-millionaire. I am looking at you today. I may not know the things you have done that never succeeded. I don't know the things you have done that failed, but I am assuring you, one is coming to stand. Don't give up, but continue pressing on. Continue managing the manner. Even though it's not sweet enough, it's not beautiful enough. Do you know what they did? When they look at the man and look at it and say, this itself is not good. But looking at it, it doesn't look fine. What do? Then gathered the manna and pounded it. That is kind of correct. God has finished the food. Once it falls, pick it and do what? Eat. You can't be better than Jehovah. You can't make anything good more better than God. They gathered it and pounded it, grounded it in a meal. Some pounded it in porter, grounded it, and then went and baked it afresh. They bake it afresh. Do you know what that is bringing me to? Several of you don't have access to BB. Is it BB? What did they call that thing? BB what? What is the full name of that BBL? Brazilian body butt leaf. Bonbon leaf. The young boy was trying to avoid the bonbon. That's why he was calling it a butt leaf. Are you hearing me today? Are you aware many times you see those who did BBL? You say, Chai, look at the way she's looking. You're only looking at that thing that clothes to cover. But you are not seeing the one that is hidden in the inside. And tomorrow, something pushes you to go and do what you don't know. How many years it is going to minus out of your life? Today we hear your young girls dying untimely death. See several of them perished. You know, no one whom BBL have damaged their bonbon, damaged their skin, will come out to say it. They will have to hide it. So whichever way they will cover it up and continue moving about, looking and hoping that there will be a solution tomorrow, they will go on, even if it is 10 years. You are somewhere there, envying them and jealousing them, whereas they are already regretting. You don't just do it and walk away. There are ways you don't walk. There are ways you don't sit. You don't sit for too long with the BBL. Are you hearing me? You see all of you sitting down here. If you had done BBL now, in the next few minutes, you're supposed to get up. Because if you sit it too long, you damage your bumper. What kind of life is that one? What kind of bondage and slavery? Just because you wanted the men to get attracted to you. You want them to admire you. For what purpose? It is purely for prostitution. Don't think it is for beauty. Beauty for who? God who made you beautiful. All he requires is that you maintain that one. Some of us go as far as doing so many things in our body, a lot of things to make it look good. Some of them today as they walk, they are dropping pus out of their body. Water is leaking out. A lot of things, the body is damaged, devastated, polluted. But they cover it with clothes and you are somewhere envying them. Some have created the holes inside their body and use cotton wool and fill it. All of them become bum. And you, a child of God, is following the mixed multitude to say, give us flesh. Enough of this kind of life. I hear the Lord saying to you tonight, eat manna. Maintain your beauty. Rub good cream that makes your skin glow. Rub good cream that treats your skin and put it in a very beautiful way. Make your hair to look good. Wear the cloth you have the money to afford. Don't look at the one you cannot afford. And don't be too exorbitant that you are drowned and possessed, that you must wear clothes that are very expensive, when actually your mother, your father are sleeping in a house that is leaking water. It doesn't make sense to you. You want to carry a phone that is so big, 1.3 million, but your parents are struggling when it is raining. They are sleeping under the dripping of water every day. And you are carrying in one left hand a phone, 1.something million. You are not wise. You are not matured. And that is why what is best for you is to withdraw you from breast and wean you from the milk, so that you will learn wisdom and he will teach you understanding. Poverty helps people to grow mature. Hunger helps people to learn. So that tomorrow when God will return you back to wealth, you will actually know how to manage it well and not make mistake the second time. Are you hearing me now? Join me, take this last scripture. Daniel chapter number 1, verse 8 to 15. Daniel chapter number 1, verse 8 to 15. If you don't mind, it will be good if we can read it together. Okay, let's go. 1 to go. But Daniel proposed in his heart that he would not defile himself with the portion of the king's meat, nor with the wine which he drank. Therefore he requested of the prince of the eunuchs that he might not defile himself. Now God had brought Daniel into favor and tender love with the prince of the eunuchs. And the prince of the eunuchs said unto Daniel, I fear my lord the king, who had appointed your meat and your drink. For why should he see your face worse likened than the children which are of your sort? Then shall ye make me endanger my head to the king. Then said Daniel to Mesa, whom the prince of the eunuch had set over Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, prove thy servants, I beseech thee, 10 days, and let them give us pause to eat and water to drink. Then let our countenance be looked upon before thee, and the countenance of the children that eat of the portion of the king's meat. And as thou seest, deal with thy servants. So he consented to them in this matter, and proved them 10 days. And at the end of 10 days, their countenance appeared fairer and fatter in flesh than all the children which did eat the portion of the king's meat. Hallelujah. If you had this began from verse 1, you will get the record very full, where the king told his secretary that he want to recruit new royal and palace servants. And for that recruitment, they must go through a process. The process of being treated in their skin, being fed well, that they may look healthier and better, so that they will be qualified walking in the palace. When you see people walking in the palace, you can know that these people are from the royal home. They are not looking skinny, they are not looking ugly, they are not looking poor. They were highly selected and picked, because royalty picks the best in the society. The best of the doctor, the best of the lawyer, the best of the barber, the best of everything must they pick from the society. Now, if they are not looking as the best, the royalty will have to take them to a camp and treat them, prepare them, equip them to appear as the best. You remember the day they were trying to select a wife for King Ahasuerus, which Esther was one of them. Are you aware that all the girls that registered were taken to a camp, and a man called Hagar, the minister of women affairs for the king, have to administer drugs and herbs to their skin, fed them, treat them on how to walk and how to talk. It took years to prepare those ladies, even though the king was looking for one, but they were plenty ladies, and of which Esther found favor with this minister. And the man looked at her and said, you will not join them in the hostel, you will be in this boys' quarter, and make sure that every herbs I give you, eat. Did you hear what I said? Hagar made sure, Esther made sure that every visual that I give you, Esther, take them. I know the rest of the girls may drop some of them because they are not sweet, because they are not looking good, because they are not enticing and interesting. But to you, Esther, now me know waiting the king want. Just like as a preacher, I am telling you now, from the scriptures I have studied over the years, I know what the heavens are looking for in every vessel. And any man or woman who can generate those lifestyle, those virtues inside of them, it will not be too long. Divinity will be drawn to where you are. So Hagar told Esther, use every visual that I provide for you. And the lady used everything. And eventually, she looked far better than the rest. And out of thousands, it was Esther that the king Ahasuerus lifted the scepter to touch it. Now, in the case of staff that will walk in the palace of Babylon, if you read from the beginning, you will discover how many days did they say they will eat those food? How many days? The people that negotiated the 10 days was Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. But the whole crowd, the royalty gave them how long? 3 years. 3 years to eat food. If it is the young boys and girls of our generation, they will take that job by force. 3 years, only be eating. Don't go anywhere. Don't walk. Don't do nothing. They will cut your nails. They will treat your hair. And they will be giving you food in the morning, give you food in the evening, give you drink, give you everything. He said both to king's drink and king's portion. The same food that the king was eating was what they were being served. Who wouldn't want to eat that? Is there anybody who will reject that food? But Daniel knew that this is not what God wants for us. This is a pattern of the pagan in raising their men. This is a system of devils and individuals when they want to grow. And I can't follow that method. It will not land my life to testimony. I have to reject it. Don't eat and follow them who say, take us back. Let's eat cucumber, onions, and the rest of them. There are ways life seems beautiful and pleasant and rosy, but the end of such a life is emptiness and misery and destruction. Allow God panel your life, even if there may be some discomfort. The road may be very rough and rugged, but your equipment is very divine. When Daniel had it, that all of them will eat king's food for 3 years, then appear for king to look at them. He went to the manager and said, please, I beg you, remove us from among those that will eat the portion of the king. He knew that the portion of the king is always passing through the process of the idol, presented to the idol, dedicated to the idol, before people will eat. And he wouldn't do that being a Hebrew. So he asked, can we eat ordinary vegetable? God paused. The king, the manager said, no, the king will hear it and my head will be in trouble. So Daniel begged the man, the supervisor that was in charge of himself and his 3 days, only 10 days. Be giving me this vegetable and water. Let's eat it. When we finish, examine our body. Check. If you now discover that it makes us look far better, then leave the food. But if we are not looking far better, force us to eat the king's portion. And the man said, okay, 10 days, Abi say, 10 days, Abi. I know very well that 10 days no go fit change anything in your body. Oh, God, no be the pause. There is a divine supply. There is something coming from heaven. It's not all about what we eat or what we drink. That is why I come to believe it is not based on the millions and hundreds of thousands that somebody gave you for settlement that will make you a multi-billionaire. It is not the amount that was used in settling you that actually determine whether you will go up or you will go down. I can show you men whom copper was not given to them on settlement. Only a blessing was pronounced, and they ran to Lagos, standing on a hustling. And when they came, they entered into the market doing hustling. From that hustling, they became something powerful. Without a capital, they grow wealth. When I tell you that I had the 3 shops, I had the 3 shops at Idumota. I have 1 shop at the Boundary, and I have several young men managing all of that. I became a distributor of 4 leading pharmaceutical companies in Nigeria, and I become a customer to many importers. Then a man gave me a warehouse at Ijesha. This business was going well within the space of 2 to 3 years. But do you know what? My master, whom I serve, did not give me a dime. He's still alive and will one day hear me saying this. The man whom I serve didn't give me 1 kobo, but he knelt me down and prayed for me and blessed me in his house. Loved by his wife and children, he blessed me after many years of not doing anything again. He released me. I walked into Idumota with no copper, with no capital. I didn't save 1 naira from his business. I didn't take a copper to give anyone. I walked empty-handed, but it was not actually empty-handed. There is something that walked with me behind in my life. A life that have drawn God unto a man. A life that have attracted the divinity to help a mortal being. When I got in there, that very period I was parading, doing what they called hustling. Several people said, come to my shop and be staying. Then you can be doing hustling. And I noticed that more than 4 persons were asking me to use their shop. I want to tell you why. It was not juju. It was honesty. It was transparency. It was integrity. Even though you want to succeed in life, train yourself in integrity. Integrity is a capital. Integrity is wealth on itself. It will draw men to you. It will bring the vulnerable and the advantaged. Integrity is an asset, is a capital that can help you succeed anywhere. Because when you lack integrity, and people discover you don't tell the truth, they can't trust you. You tell them this is white and they discover it is black. You have damaged your tomorrow even from today. But these people discover while I was serving my yoga that this boy tells the truth. This boy is honest in his marketing. This boy doesn't deceive anybody. This boy doesn't cheat anyone wrongly. This boy doesn't do anything that make people hate coming to buy from him. So when I came out, business owners, shop owners were telling me to come. I had to choose the one I like. And I went there. My presence in that shop was drawing customers for them. Even though they don't have plenty goods, but there were plenty people. From there, before you know it, one of the shop by the side closed down, and I took it and I paid for it and put in my goods. Before I know it, the other one closed down. I took it and I paid for it. Before I know it, the one opposed me closed down and I took it. In the same line, I secured the 3 shops, and up there was a room. The landlady gave it to me, and I made it look like an office. Put the table, put chairs, and I went up there, and the man gave me a warehouse at Ijesha. Within the space of 2 years to 3 years, 4 shops, one at the boundary, we are operating with the 7 young men dealing with it. A distributor to a leading pharmaceutical product all over Nigeria. That place was busy, booming, working, trending every day. Why? There was a role of integrity played. There was a role of honesty played. And then it moved on that dimension. And I want to tell you the truth. From no capital, from no kobo, I was able to raise millions in those days. Joint importation, no 1 naira. And I remember those who were settled before me, whom they give either 80,000, 50,000 or 90,000. When I tell you somebody was settled with 90,000, 80,000, 50,000 after serving for 7 years, you'll be saying the master is wicked. No. That time, 50,000 is like 500,000 or 5 million now. Are you following me? That time, 50,000 has as value as 5 million naira today. Yet, with all of that capital, they couldn't see the light of day. But someone was not given a dime, and he sprang up. It is not all about what they gave you or the land they sold and gave you money. If you don't carry it inside, it will not come out physically. I need you to carry God. He is a magnet of success. Are you hearing me today? So these people were eating manna and they felt bad and demanded for flesh. But Daniel said, I want to eat manna. Leave the dainties of the king. Leave the meat. Leave the drinks. Give me just manna. Give me this vegetable. I am done. And when they finished eating for 10 days, and he called the manager, supervisor, check us and check the other people who were eating the king's food for 10 days. Check all of us. And then they examine their skin, examine their look. That of Daniel and his brother, we are looking far more better than the rest of them. So the young man said, only 3 or 4 of you should eat on with the vegetable. Continue with it. I come to say you today, we shall be better than many of them. I know you may go through trouble, you may go through perils, you may go through hunger, but you shall be better than many of them. Your business shall be better than many of them. Some of them may have so many connections which they connected and got through dubious way. You cannot follow that method to get there. Some may have promoted by doing evil things. You shouldn't get there. Some have stolen people's money whom they were working in order to start their own business. They will soon crumble because there is iniquity at the foundation of that business. But you that kept your hand clean and upright and you have a little capital, the Lord is breathing success on your own. You shall be better than many. Don't allow any woven success enter your eyes and make you change your standard. Like Daniel, you must propose in your heart that you will not not defile yourself with the portion of the king. Every food that is cheap, do you know the Bible said that the secret bread is very sweet? When you think that this cheap way, shortcut of getting things is very easy and very sweet. That is the same way. The way Satan will get you is still very, very short and very easy. Separate yourself from that, and I see you making success at the end of the day. I prophesy by the end of the year, you shall be better than